Okay, we are back for the spoiler review of Peppermint. And as I said in the non-spoiler review, really liked this film. I'm a big Jennifer Garner fan on the action side. I mean, I liked her in Juno as well and things to that effect, but I think she really shines in action films, and she knows really how to sell it. And I'm glad she's going back to her roots and doing this kind of stuff, especially with this female Punisher type of role. There was actually a female Punisher at one point in the comics. I think it was Greg Rucka that wrote it, and she, her family was killed. I think it was in a wedding or something to that effect. So kind of a red wedding situation, and I forgot if she sought out the Punisher or if the Punisher sought her out. It's been a long time since I read it. But anyway, so she ended up being... Because the Punisher does have one rule, he doesn't kill cops. And she killed a cop or whatever else, so they ended up breaking ties. But anyway, it was very good, where he was kind of training her and stuff like that. But in here, she almost went down the Batman path, where she spent 5 years abroad getting her butt kicked and being trained in a variety of different weapons. And the only thing they really allude to is that there was some cage fighting that she was doing. So, and I like that. I like the fact that, you know, she went off the grid. She ended up in the homeless area in the area of the boroughs down there, Skid Row, and that, again, I'm going to bring up that painting, which on the wall, which I was like, oh wow, that is so cool. You know, she had the wings, and it had the guns on the wings, and she had a hoodie, and she had the gun in her hand. If anything, if there was any marketing piece, that was it. That would have sold the film. And because if you look at the poster, you can't tell Jennifer Garner anyway. She's got her head down. So anyway, I thought the marketing really dropped the ball on this film. But anyway, let's talk about the film plot-wise. So it starts out with the car shaking back and forth. You think it's two people having sex, but it's not. It's that her fighting with the guy in the car. We have no idea how it got to that point, and she gets wounded in there. And but anyway, she ends up dragging the body after she kills the guy. And again, we have no idea what's at all is going on except for what we ever saw in the trailer. So, and if you even saw a trailer before walking in there. And then, of course, it flashes back to the husband and the daughter, and obviously they're having financial problems, and she works at a bank. But anyway, so from that point on, we see them getting gunned down, and of course we know that the father was going to go into some shady business with his partner, and then backs out. And of course, they never say this, but Jennifer Garner never actually says this in the film, and I kind of wish they alluded to that a little bit more. That she probably would have blamed him. Regardless if he had pulled out of the job or not, he put the family in harm's way just by association. So you got to think that she blames him post-mortem. So anyway, but they never actually say how she gets them to the top of the merry-go-round either. Although I was like, who cares? That's such a great shot of the bodies hanging there, a la Mussolini, after, during World War II, that was like, how she got them up there, I guess, is irrelevant, because the end result looked great. And then, of course, we have Carmichael's character, and the FBI agent, and Carmichael's partner, who you kind of think the partner is the bad guy through the whole thing, where he's always alluding to, you know, don't go any further, blah, blah, blah. And he's always telling that to Carmichael. But meanwhile, it ends up that Carmichael is the bad guy. Although, in the beginning of the film, where they do the flashback, I don't think that he was part of Garcia's team at that point. I think he got recruited after. Because he was kind of hell-bent on her testifying and all this stuff and really had her back. And then all of a sudden he kind of changed things. Like when he ended up killing the FBI agent, there's no other way except for the audience to feel except that guy needs to die, because I like the FBI agent and she entrusted him, and she was pretty smart, and she had tracked down Riley when the police couldn't. I like the incorporation of the kids in there. I liked when the FBI agent went in there and said, "No, we have a guardian angel now." She turned around and saw the thing. I thought, oh, that was really, really good. And all of the scenes with her with the rifle, like in the store and all that stuff, so good. So good. And they did not shy away from beating her up and having her look beat up like an Atomic Blonde, where she didn't have to look pretty throughout the entire thing. I really, really liked that it was gritty like that. Anyway, so good. I know, you know, the film had problems, whatever, but I'm kind of foregoing any of those problems because of the fact I even liked when she got the phone and she ended up calling the news and putting that stuff on the news. Very, very smart, because she knew she needed help. And at that point in time, she just wanted Diego, and she had to kill him. You knew she had to kill him at the end. And then she disappeared, but then was recaptured. And once he grasped her hand in the hospital, I was like, oh, she got the key. He just gave her the key. And that's why it gets set up for a sequel. And I really, really hope the film does well, or well enough to, I have no idea what the budget is. But it couldn't have been that high, because she was the biggest star in it. And if they had gotten her, you know, for a little over scale, just so that she was able to do something, because I think that her relationship with Affleck is over. So I guess she's trying to look for, and I think that their children are a little bit older now too, or basically not children anymore, so they can take care of themselves, kind of thing. So I think she's looking to reboot something, maybe franchise-wise. So again, I hope this does it. I hope we can get to see a sequel. I'd actually really like it. Anyway, I really recommend it. If you haven't seen it, if you're watching this, you haven't seen the film, then I probably ruined some stuff for you. So hopefully I got big letters as a spoiler review. But anyway, I really enjoyed the film. Hopefully you guys did too. And if you didn't, tell me why in the comments section. And if you weren't a fan of it, yeah, I'd definitely like to know what you didn't like. All right, and again, I don't know what I mean. Yes, it's derivative. It's completely derivative of other revenge films. There's pretty much nothing new in this film. I completely get it. Aside from some of the action sequences, but I didn't care. I didn't care. I like that. I like I don't like the fact that it was completely generic, but I like the cookie cutter of what they used. You know, I mean, Denzel Washington did the same thing, Man on Fire and stuff like that. So revenge films work, and yes, it's derivative, but who cares? It was I had fun watching it. I had fun with her character, and I hope to see more. And hopefully you agree. All right. Again, leave your comments below and subscribe if you haven't already, and please share this video. And thanks again for watching.